Greetings, everyone. Greetings. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
Yay. I am Sister Danielle X here with Silent Crime, and I have my co host, my sister, my friend, sister.
Yasina Muhammad.
Yes. We want to thank you all for tuning into today's show. This right here is a new platform for both her and I. We want to kind of give you an idea of what to look forward to. The conversation or topic is called Let's Talk, a place where you're able to share information, hear more information, bring your friends in, the sisters in, even brothers can come in too and join in on the conversation. Definitely put your conversation, your questions in the comments. We want to be able to have a platform that's shared to be able to have these deep topics discussed that are not really discussed in our family settings, oftentimes, or in our homegirl settings, oftentimes. But we want to be able to share with you all what we have. So, do you have anything you want to share?
I'm ready to get started. I'm hoping that that people will see that it is a safe place for all of us to come to, and that every time we're blessed to have this platform, that we all leave with some information of value and some aspect of healing, or
Yes,
progression towards healing.
yes, ma'am. And then that healing. What does healing look like to you, Sister Yesenia?
For me, healing is when that place of peace where the pain doesn't hit as hard, and the fogginess in the mind starts to clear away, and we can see a little bit clearer and start making better choices. Because
Mhm.
when we're in pain, we don't make good choices, but when we're on that road to healing, we begin to make better choices.
That's true, definitely. I think that we oftentimes, in my opinion, we oftentimes don't have a platform to have these conversations on. And so when you're in pain, you feel alone
Yes.
and you hold on to the pain and the trauma and the anger and the frustration and the grief by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And then you don't want to be judged by your peers, by your family members. Just, you're just, you don't want to be looked at awkwardly, so we linger on or hold on to the painful things that we have experienced in our life and not say anything.
And it's that heart and holding on to it. That's where disease come in, because it's the dis-ease of the mind. And we know from our teachers that whatever affects the mind, it ultimately affects the body.
Yes, ma'am.
So, harboring and holding on to trauma,
Mm-hmm.
and we end up getting, you can live a healthy life. But because we dealt with trauma, we end up having cancer, we end up having ulcers, headaches, and just different ailments in our bodies. And it's all because we're holding on, the cells in our body hold on to whatever that trauma is.
Yes, ma'am. Wow. So, welcome again, you all, for joining in and let's talk. And we're going to have some awesome conversations in the near future and hit some very sensitive areas and conversation that we want you all to be able to be open about with us and not running from things that are happening right in our very backyards or even in our homes. Judge free zone, right? We don't try to make you feel like you're the boogeyman or that you are a victim. They say, I don't like that word, Sister Yesenia.
I
Victim.
prefer survivor.
Yes, that part. But yes, ma'am. So again, we want to be able to make this place a safe haven for you. If you can kind of look at the bottom of the screen, you see our phone numbers are there. Mine is going to be the 972-388-1300. Sister Danielle, again, that's 972-388-1300. And your number, sis, is
Mine is 248-291-7753, and I'm Sister Yasina Muhammad.
Sister Yesenia. And with that, too, there's an email, and that's a silent crimes network at gmail.com. If you're not comfortable with having a conversation on the phone or via text, you definitely can put your words on paper, they say, and express yourself, concerns, questions. You're looking for resources, need some aid rendered, children need help, whatever the case may be, or just have someone listen to your story. We're there as well for that, too.
So I think we should probably give them a background
Yes.
to, you know, what we're doing and why we're doing it.
Mhm.
So I am a 16-year survivor of sex trafficking, human trafficking. And so I use my voice, I use my resources, uh, and I work as a co director of anti human trafficking. And what I do is I provide um, resources for human trafficking survivors and domestic violence survivors. I help them find housing, temporary housing, help them to get resources for themselves if they have children, try to find them areas where they can get therapy.
Mm.
And I'm working now to connect with different people in political arenas and in the in the not I wouldn't say criminal, but in the police departments and other agencies to be a part of that first responders team, so that when the people are rescued, whether it's man, woman, or child, when they're rescued, that I can, as much as I can, be there to help them and to support them before they're carried off to
Yes,
get
ma'am.
medical treatment and all of that. Basically, straight wiring, as we're taught,
Mm. That
to
part.
help them to ease them into this next phase of their living. So
Yes, ma'am.
that's what I do.
Wow. That's a lot, right? That's a whole
That's a
lot.
lot.
And for myself, Sister Danielle, I am founder of Silent Crimes Network. It's a nonprofit organization where we help the same women who are coming out of sex trafficking, human trafficking. We bring awareness to organ harvesting, what that is, what that looks like. We also, too, we help with the counseling, the auditing for those who have been in domestic abuse relationships, matters, and also those who've been molested and need somebody to talk to. We help women with getting away, be it a flight out the state to a rental car to a bus ticket. We help women who are looking for jobs from that situation, help them find jobs, help them get birth certificates and their IDs. We help them to be able to connect with their families that they haven't seen in many years. We help them to, those who want to share their story, give them a voice to be able to do so when the time is right. Never pressuring them to share their story, never making them do something that makes them uncomfortable. But it takes time to, and when they're ready, we're here to be able to facilitate that conversation. Also, to those women that have never been heard, those women who are being looked at as the aggressive person in a relationship, or it's their fault. We help them to understand it was not their fault. Being trafficked was not your fault. I am a survivor of molestation from a family member, and also too in the community. It happened to me as well. Um, as a child, it happened for many years, and then that one incident that happened as a teenager, that heavy. It's very heavy in how it happened to me, but it took me this way to figure out what my mission and purpose in this world is, with all the anger and frustration and the pain and the just rage. And I never could understand why I went through what I went through, as many do. But now, being this platform of silent crimes with my sister here, Sister Yesenia, and I, being able to express ourselves and be able to share that, and converting and turning that energy of rage and anger into love and appreciation for others that are going through the same thing.
Yes. And with that, we also educate community groups,
Mm-hmm.
and whether that's school in the school system,
Mm-hmm.
and whether it's agencies that actually take in women and children who are coming out of human trafficking situations, because there's a spirit that you have to have. And a lot of times, good intentions, and they do all of these women's organizations, they do wonderful work. But as I was talking to a lady a couple of days ago who runs one of the shelters, she said, we provide the resources. She said, but I can see there's a spirit missing.
Mm.
So a lot of times I liken it to a therapist who, and there's nothing, it takes away nothing from therapists. They do excellent job. But I
Mhm.
liken it to a therapist who's never been raped, trying to heal a woman who's been raped.
Yes,
You
ma'am.
can do it from a textbook standpoint, but if you don't know the pain and the struggle of what it takes
Yes, ma'am.
to get on the other side of healing, you do your due diligence, but sometimes there's a component missing, which is why we end up in therapy for year after year after year. We're 20 years and we're still in therapy, having not
Yes.
healed.
Yes, ma'am.
But when the person who's been through it gets themselves together and to a point where they can give, because healing, when you're on the road to healing, when you're helping somebody else, it helps in the healing process,
That's
your
right.
own healing process.
That's right.
So for me, having been in human trafficking from the age of 3 until I was 19,
Yes, ma'am.
there was a journey of healing. Now, first, it was acknowledgement, me going through my 8 steps of atonement within myself,
Yes. Yes.
and forgiving myself for even believing that it was my fault.
Mm.
So, on my road to healing, because healing never ends.
That's right.
Like the minister said, every time he says, at every level there's a devil. At every level, you're still dealing with those little bitty things those little creaks in the night that you
Mm.
thought that you were over, or you didn't even know that were there. You're still dealing with it, whatever it is. So, but my mission, my purpose, my destiny in life, part of that is helping other women
Yes, ma'am.
on their journey to healing.
Yes, ma'am.
I believe that's my life purpose.
Yes, ma'am.
So, um, so that's why I do what I do.
Man. Yes. I real quick for me, starting this journey, I had the anger, right? Still confused as an adult. Excuse me. I had the confusions that the still not sure of why I experienced what I experienced. And it took me many years to look at the mirror. I would not look at myself.
Mm,
It was the painful thing that if I did look at myself, it'd be like real quick and doing it. But I would never look at myself, like look in the soul, the being of Danielle. I didn't. It was scary. I would get emotional. So I just stopped doing, even passing by mirrors and in stores and whatnot. It just brought me down. Um, Interesting. And I modeled for many years, but I never would look at myself. Um, and so coming into the journey of this, not the nonprofit, I was trying to get it, but I met a young girl, and she shared with me that her and her mother were part of sex trafficking.
mm,
And I'm like, what is that? I I know prostitution, I see that, but what's trafficking? So I talked to the girl's mother, and she shared with me what happened to her and her daughter. And then being in Texas, we're number 2 in the states of the US of trafficking.
mhm.
And then Dallas is number 2 in the state of Texas for trafficking. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And then every 3 minutes, Sister Yesenia, a child is being taken for trafficking
Yep.
in our neighborhoods here in Texas, in Dallas.
Because
So I'm digging. Huh?
they just rescued 70
Yes. Yes.
children, women and children in Texas
Yes, ma'am.
from human
And
trafficking.
in discovering that, they also too yesterday found 4 baby bodies, and all the organs were missing yesterday. So I say all that to say to you all is that you have to have a certain kind of heart and a certain kind of care. When I see little girls, it makes my body just melt. I see children, period. because that which they have, it was taken from me, not by choice. It was taken from me by someone with a sick mind. And so, with the recovery process and me being able to build this nonprofit, we come to you all now saying that this conversation platform for you all is real. We didn't Google it, we didn't YouTube it. This is real, factual words
Mm-hmm.
coming out of two sisters, two friends, stories of actually going through a life in pain. But now we're able to smile
Yeah.
and say, "You're beautiful. Oh gosh, I look like you. You know, I'm a reflection of you," and mean it, and not just go through the cliche.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you all for tuning in. We look forward to growing and building with you all from far and wide. Share, share, share. Bring all those you may know that have gone through something, those that you may not know who've gone through something. Because it may be a word that I may share or that she may share that may pierce the heart and open up windows of opportunity like no other. So we thank you.
And I would say the don't do the hush, don't tell.
Mm.
We have to get away from that. The what goes on in the house stays in the house. If it's a situation where there is where you know that there's something going on and victimization and violation, that's the only time I'll use that word, is the
Yeah.
person's been victimized in the home.
Yes, ma'am.
Um, then someone should tell,
Mm-hmm. Please.
because it's a perpetual cycle. Especially, I mean, in all, groups of people. But we know in our community, that's it's like singing gospel music.
Yes.
You know what you don't tell what goes on in the house, but if you're beating me, if you're raping me on a consistent basis, or I'm watching this being done, then no, that's not it's not right. It's not right. Um, and we have to end that cycle. The only way that the cycle of human trafficking, of molestation, of abuse
Mm-hmm.
in our homes, whatever your religious, ethnicity, ethnic, God, I'm tongue twisted, ethnic, uh,
Ethnicity.
ethnicity, background, your finances, whatever it does not matter, because you can be the poorest of the poor and nothing is and living a wonderful life, and be
Mm-hmm.
the richest of the rich and being abused every day.
Mm-hmm.
So it has money, race, religion, it plays no part in it. This is worldwide,
Yes.
not just what Yasina went through or Danielle went through. No, this is ongoing. We see it every day in Ohio. We have over 1,000 children missing
Yes,
in
ma'am.
Ohio now.
Mm-hmm.
And every day the report gets larger and larger and larger. It's when is it going to stop?
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm hoping that, we'll have a lot of people tuning in, and we'll have, send whatever questions you may have.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if you want to tell your story, just to have a place to be able to just get it off of you, then use the website. I mean, the
Mm-hmm.
email address that Sister Danielle mentioned at silentcrimesnetwork@gmail, and because we want to hear from you and see how we can help.
Yes, ma'am. I am trying to find something out real quick. So yes, ma'am. So yeah, so that's that, you all. We want to be able to be ready for you all. So we'll keep you updated. And we'll be doing this every 2 weeks with a broadcast information. If you have any questions you want to ask, definitely hit us up. And we'll do all we can to be able to be of assistance to you all and render aid when necessary. Um, I would say too, by it being Domestic Abuse Month, wear something purple, a ribbon, a bracelet, a shirt, a necklace, whatever you just wear something purple one day this month, just one, and be able to see and show support for those who have had their life taken from this situation, or those who are going through it, or for yourself. Wear purple. And then those survivors of breast cancer, it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month as well. Wear you some pink. I know, brothers, you don't want to wear a pink shirt. I get it. Pink socks. I get it. But find a way to be able to show a gesture of appreciation for those who have been overcame or overcome with a very painful situation.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they were able to come out of it. They have their own story to tell. And then those whose life was taken from that element. It's real. So we want to show some acknowledgement and appreciation and love to those who are going through those two things. So I'm done. Are you done, sis?
I'm done.
Yes, and we want to thank you all for supporting the idea and the motion. We'll keep you all updated. You all be safe and stay strong.